Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. The Trompowsky attack immediately attacks the knight on f6. Knight e4 puts the knight on a center square and attacks the bishop on g5. Bishop f4 moves the attacked bishop to an active diagonal where it controls the e5 and d6 squares. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. This kicks a knight. This moves the knight to safety. A solid choice. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. White develops the knight and attacks the center. This overlooks an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. This allows the opponent to kick a bishop. This overlooks a better way to kick a bishop. This allows the opponent to force an isolated pawn. This forces the opponent to isolate a pawn. Takes back. This strikes at the center with a pawn, trying to gain space. This kicks a bishop. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This threatens to win a bishop by trapping a piece. This permits the opponent to kick a knight. This is the only move that works. The knight is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This defends the attacked pawn. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Recaptures. There was only one good move there. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a rook by eventually trapping a piece, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. This stops the opponent from being able to win material through a fork. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. This is not the right idea. This misses an opportunity to connect rooks. This allows the opponent to force a weak backward pawn. This threatens to set up a blockade. This misses an opportunity to capture a free pawn. This leaves a pawn without defenders. This overlooks an opportunity to capture a free pawn. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This strikes at the center to fight for space. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Only one move worked there, and this wasn't it. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. Takes back. This attacks a queen, winning a tempo when it moves away. This develops a piece while also winning a tempo on a knight. This defends the attacked knight. This threatens to win material through a tactic. This prevents the opponent from being able to win material through a tactic. This overlooks a better way to develop a rook off its starting square. This overlooks a better way to connect rooks. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This overlooks an opportunity to move a knight to safety. This allows the opponent to pin a knight. This misses an opportunity to win material by pinning a piece. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a rook through a fork. That pin will win a knight. Black was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. This wins a knight. This captures a queen and eliminates a threat. This captures a knight and eliminates a threat. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. Recaptures. Recaptures from a previous move. This is the only move that works. This protects an underdefended knight that is under attack. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. The bishop finds a new active square. Right on target. Very precise. This moves the bishop to safety. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. Now black can't stop white from winning material if they make the right moves. This is the strongest option. This is the way to win a pawn. This defends a vulnerable bishop by pinning one of its attackers. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. This moves the bishop to safety. This is a fair move. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. The bishop finds a new active square. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. White's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity and control. Right on target. This defends the attacked pawn. This threatens to eventually win a pawn. A very strong play. Pushing a passed pawn. This is not the right idea. This threatens to tactically win a bishop. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a bishop. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can inhibit the pawn's ability to promote. This defends the attacked pawn. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. One of the best moves. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This steps away from the checking rook. This loses a bishop. This is the way to win a bishop. Recaptures. That was a free pawn. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. Very precise. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be challenged by pawns as it tries to promote. This evades the check from the rook. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the rook. Pushing a passed pawn. That pawn was free for the taking. Now black can't stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. This puts the rook behind the other player's passed pawn. Right on target. This threatens to use a rook to counter a passed pawn. Now black can't stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. Very precise. This wins material. This is the strongest option. This steps away from the checking rook. A solid choice. This steps away from the checking rook. That's fine. That pawn was free for the taking.